Hey guys, real quick before we start the video, I'm working on a top 10 list of the best new Cars Diecasts of 2024 as chosen by my viewers. So, if you're interested and would like to vote, please click the link in the description and vote for who you think the best new release of the year was. Now on to the video. If you're a Cars fan that follows leaks, you've probably been waiting for this day for quite a while, and now it's finally arrived. Race and Rescue is here, the big new expanded universe Cars Diecast line for 2025, and I am very excited because this is pretty interesting. Hello everybody, and welcome back to My Thoughts, a series where I give my thoughts on the latest Cars news. Let's get started. We're talking about Race and Rescue. For the past several months now, we've been getting pretty frequent leaks regarding an upcoming Cars Diecast line called Race to the Rescue. I first found out about this and reported on it all the way back on October 20th, when I realized that Mattel accidentally gave several online retailers like Entertainment Earth the wrong Mini Racer 3-pack names for their listings of the first wave of 2025, revealing several 3-packs called Race to the Rescue. I quickly speculated that this would be a new expanded universe line, probably featuring Radiator Springs cars dressed up as firefighters. I compared it to those Tomica firefighter cars that are pretty popular. As the months continued, we got more and more information about this line. It would be an expanded universe line in the Diecast main line, similar to 2024's GRC. It would be receiving color changers. We got confirmation of Sheriff and Red in the line, confirming the theory that this would feature Radiator Springs characters. And then, a few days ago, things got really interesting. A few days ago, a children's book was listed online called Race and Rescue. Although it doesn't have a cover image yet, it does have a description, and this gave us our first look at what the story behind the line would be, revealing an interesting character inclusion. Lightning and his friends are hosting a race in Radiator Springs. Chick Hicks is determined to win, even if it means cheating. Can the Radiator Springs race rescue crew keep everyone safe and on track? After reading this description, everything started to click into place for me. This line, officially called Race and Rescue, not the original name Race to the Rescue, is about exactly what the title says: a race and a rescue. This book revealed the inclusion of Chick Hicks in the line, something that would later be doubly confirmed when Disney Docket made a video a few days back, revealing that Chick and Jeff Gorvette would be involved in the line. From what I've heard, he's also alluded to rally race-themed variants of Cruz Ramirez and Danny Suarez releasing this year, which let fans know that the race in Race and Rescue would probably be a rally race. Something that was confirmed once again when this promotional image of McQueen started floating around online. As you can see, this McQueen has a Race Rally 200 logo, so yeah, everything was starting to come together now. All that was missing was a reveal of the official diecasts. By the way, in case you were wondering what this QR code does, if you scan it, it sends you to a TikTok effect that puts a really bad-looking CGI McQueen in front of you. So, scan at your own risk. But today, after months of waiting, frequent, reliable leaker Training Cars Code 01 finally found some images of some of the upcoming Race and Rescue diecasts, as well as two other 2025 diecasts, both of whom we already knew about: Fishtail and the highly anticipated Grem. These are both cars that we've known have been returning for several months now, but it's really, really nice to see them in package. Especially Grem. Somehow we haven't gotten a regular Grem released since like 2012, so seeing him back is absolutely crazy. I'm so excited to see what the Thailand variant looks like, and I'm so excited to see kids and collectors alike get their hands on Grem, who again hasn't been out in well over a decade. But, as much as I'd love to spend the whole video talking about Grem and, to a lesser extent, Fishtail, I do have to move on to the main event here today, the Race and Rescue diecasts. Actually, while I was editing this video, High Impact's re-release was also revealed, and so here she is. Super cool to see High Impact back. We already knew about this, but High Impact is one of the rarest Demolition Derby cars, so having her get re-released as a single is really, really nice. Anyway, on to the Race and Rescue guys. A total of 4 Race and Rescue items have been revealed today. 2 fully in the package, and the other 2 simply diecast images on the back of their card backs. Up first here, we have Mater, and before we talk about him, I just need to talk about how insanely good this packaging design is. I was not expecting the Race and Rescue packaging design to go this hard. I can't believe this is going to be part of the main line. They really went above and beyond for this. They really went above and beyond with the GRC packaging, but this is even a step beyond that. The gold and metallic red, this kind of fiery explosion behind the characters. I'm honestly kind of disappointed that this packaging is going to be part of an expanded universe line. I would love to see an entire year that just used this as the card back style. I absolutely love this. This is genuinely, and I know this is insane to say, this is probably my top 5 favorite Cars packaging styles of all time. This looks insanely good. I'm not an in-package collector, but I may have to change that purely because of how much I absolutely adore these card back designs. Oh my gosh, these are really, really cool looking. Another really cool looking thing is the Race and Rescue logo, which is really, really clever, featuring the radiator cap mountain, but with 2 R's for Radiator Springs Race and Rescue. I absolutely love that, and it even matches the fact that Red has a little Radiator Cap Mountain logo on his license plate. Obviously, it's not the same logo, but still, I just love that connection to Radiator Springs here. It's really, really cool. Also cool is the fact that it's actually the exact same logo that McQueen has in that promo image, except there, instead of saying Radiator Springs Race and Rescue, it says Radiator Springs Rally Race. The fact that this line is pulling double duty as both a rally race line and a rescue line is honestly really interesting to me. I think it's honestly kind of strange. Part of me would probably prefer if it were just one or the other, either do a rally race line or do a rescue line. And I wonder why they didn't just do one of those two, but I do really have to commend Mattel and Disney and Pixar and everybody for combining these two in a really, really clever way. Having that logo be the same, having it all tie in together with a line featuring both racers and rescue vehicles in a line called Race and Rescue. I think that combining these two could have been kind of a disaster, but they did such a clever job connecting them. I think this really works. Part of me honestly would have preferred if we just had a full rescue vehicle line or a separate full rally racer line or both. It is kind of weird to combine them, but again, I think they did a pretty good job at doing that. The 2 most common kinds of expanded universe Cars lines we get are ones featuring racers and ones featuring Radiator Springs characters, and it's super cool to see those combined in one line. You kind of get the best of both worlds. Now, Mater himself is pretty alright. I don't really know how I feel about this design. I think it's pretty okay. It's red with some nice yellow accents, as well as some blue highlights on him. I feel like a lot of people are going to end up not liking that blue, especially the fact that they made Mater's rear view mirrors blue. I actually quite like that choice. I think it's interesting and unique. My biggest complaint is probably the fact that this reuses, the brand new Mater style with the hood and everything, and I would have preferred if it were just regular old Mater. Easily my favorite thing about this item, though, is the fact that he has a brand new towing assembly. That's such a unique thing to change about this Mater, to have the designers go out of their way to give Mater a new towing assembly, one that works better for him as a rescue vehicle. You can see that it looks a whole lot sturdier than Mater's standard towing assembly and has a much larger hook and a giant metal chain instead of Mater's usual old tow cable. This is clearly a much more heavy-duty towing assembly, perfect for a rescue tow truck. And I think that it's just so clever. Whoever came up with that on the design team, give yourself a pat on the back. That's a really smart concept because it makes sense for the context of the line. And this is the sort of thing that makes me love the Cars Diecast line. The times that they go above and beyond like this. A lesser toy line wouldn't go out of their way to give a fire truck Mater a more heavy-duty tow cable assembly. And I love that they chose to do that. Another thing that I really like about this item is that they made this distinctly different from Rescue Squad Mater. When you think fire truck Mater, you're gonna think Rescue Squad Mater, and I do appreciate that they made this completely, distinctly different. This image from the back of McQueen's card back gives us a pretty good look at the front of this Mater. You can see the logo on his hood. Pretty pretty solid facial expression, looks pretty in line for a brand new Mater, and you could also see that he has a brand new siren to go alongside his new tow cable. I also really like his bright yellow wheels. This one's pretty good in my book. This one started off pretty mixed in my book, but the more I looked at it and the more I talked about it, especially seeing this front-facing image, or this image of Mater's front, it makes me much more excited. Up next, it's McQueen, and as you can see, this doesn't match the rally race design for him that we saw in that promotional photo. I think it's pretty safe to assume that McQueen will be receiving two different variants in this diecast line, this rescue-themed one, as well as the other one themed to the rally race. From a story perspective, I'm not sure how that'll work. I'm sure we'll see that in the book. I have a feeling that McQueen, will get all geared up for the race, and then Chick Hicks will do something that causes some sort of accident, so McQueen has to drive off and get some rescue gear on and join the Radiator Springs rescue team to help fix the problem. And I think that works. I think from a story perspective it works, and I think that also works because McQueen is both a racer and a resident of Radiator Springs. McQueen is both race and rescue, so involving him on both sides makes sense. And from a business perspective, it's honestly kind of genius to have a toy line featuring these two different types of characters and making McQueen, the main character, be involved in both. Clever move. McQueen's design looks pretty solid to me. I like the logo whereas Rusty's logo would be. I really like the yellow from the lightning bolt wrapping around the whole back. And I also really like that he's actually a unique mold. You might see this and think he's reusing the mold of Deputy Hazard from Cars on the Road. But no, he actually has a completely different light bar, and I really appreciate that. The back of the packaging for McQueen and Mater reveals two other releases for this line. Up first, we have Sarge. Sarge is one of my favorite Cars characters, and one of my favorite characters to collect, so seeing a new variant of him coming out gets me super hyped. I appreciate that they didn't give Sarge a bombastic red and yellow color scheme. Part of me probably would have preferred it because it's a bit more different than what we have here, but I do appreciate and respect them keeping his usual military color scheme, since it does still work in the rescue context. I especially like, though, that there are some color changes. Looks like his star is a bit of a different shade of green or brown. The bottom part of him seems to be a different color as well. And he also has these really nice stripes on his back, which seem to be a universal theme that we'll probably see on a lot of these cars, maybe kind of similar to the hexagon patterns on the GRCs. I really don't like the giant logo plastered on Sarge's roof. It looks really goofy to me. I do like that they put that logo on his sides where his badge usually is, but the one on the roof just feels unnecessary, too big, and redundant. But easily my favorite thing about this item is the fact that he has a little plastic fire extinguisher accessory attached to him, kind of similar to how pit crew member Sarge has a can of gas on his side. Sarge is here ready to help out with his fire extinguisher, and it makes me excited to see what other modifications and accessories the other Radiator Springs cars will have in this line. The last item we have here today is the only racer we've seen from this line, the one and only Chick Hicks. And let me start off by saying just how excited I am that they put Chick Hicks in this line as the antagonist. We, never see Chick Hicks. We rarely ever see him get new diecast. The last Chick Hicks we got was his silver variant in 2020. There are barely any Chick Hicks variants out there, and this is the first time ever Chick has gotten a variant in one of these expanded universe race lines, because, well, none of them are based on the first movie. Chick, of course, is based on his Cars 3 design, and I think he looks really cool. I love the concept of him being in the story, having this petty rematch rally race against McQueen, and it makes me even more excited that this line is also set to feature, at the very least, Jeff Gorvette, Cruz, and Danny. I can't believe it took us 8 years to get a toy line that combines racers from all three Cars movies, and I am so beyond excited about that. Getting significant racers from all three movies in one toy line interacting with each other, I genuinely can't wait. I love his inclusion here, and I can't wait to see what mayhem he gets up to in the book. I mean, seriously, who better to have as the villain for a line called Race and Rescue than the guy that's known to constantly, violently crash into other cars? Now, this image I've been using of the back of the card was posted by Cars Diecast Reveals. This seems to be the back of McQueen's card, since it doesn't feature him and instead features Mater. I think this might be good confirmation that this is our full first wave. These 4 cars, we'll have to see what other ones come in future waves. While I was editing this video, Training Cars Kiddo 01 actually found an inbox image for Chick, giving us a look at him on the card. His artwork, of course, is modified from his Cars 3 artwork, which makes perfect sense, and he looks really, really good. I love seeing these different colors on Chick, with the silver and blue. He also has two differently colored wheels, something quite similar to what a lot of the GRC cars had in 2024, and honestly, this Chick and the race side of Race and Rescue really does remind me of the GRC. The GRC combined racers from Cars 2 and 3. This line combines racers from Cars 2 and 3, as well as Chick Hicks. It features these universal themes from item to item, tying all the characters together. It has a much more complex story than the GRC had, complete with a book explaining that backstory. It's an expanded universe line in the main line that is trying bold new things, even bolder than doing a collab between Cars 2 and Cars 3 racers. While I do think I'll end up preferring the GRC as a toy line, Race and Rescue is showing some real incredible promise, and I love seeing an expansion and elaboration on what the Cars Diecast line can do. Sure, I could complain about these toy lines being expanded universe cars in the main line, but I really don't care all that much because they're too good for me to complain. If they continue being this good, I honestly cannot complain. And there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the first batch of Race and Rescue cars we've had revealed. I'm pretty excited for this line. Can't wait to see the rest of the racers and the rescue vehicles. But now it's time for me to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on the Race and Rescue line? Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.